God has awoken me in the night to share with you. Um, Psalm 1. We're going to read some Psalms. Just want to send you love and share the Word of God with you. Oh, the joys of those who do not follow the advice of the wicked, or stand around with sinners, or join in with mockers. But they delight in the law of the Lord, meditating on it day and night. They are like trees planted along the riverbank, bearing fruit each season. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all they do. But not the wicked. They are like so angry. Why do they waste time with futile plans? The kings of the earth prepare for battle, and the rulers plot together against the anointed one. Let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from the slavery to God. Wow, this is prophetic. But the one who rules in heaven laughs. The Lord scoffs at them. Then in anger he rebukes them, terrifying them with his fierce fury. For the Lord declares, I have placed my chosen king on the throne in Jerusalem, on my holy mountain. The king proclaims the Lord's decree. The Lord said to me, You are my son. Today I have become your father. Only ask, and I will give you the nations as your inheritance, the whole earth as your possession. You will break them with an iron rod and smash them like clay pots. Now, then, you kings, act wisely. Be warned, you rulers of the earth. Serve the Lord with fervent fear and rejoice with trembling. Submit to God's royal Son, or he will become angry and you will be destroyed in the midst of all your activities. For his anger flares up in an instant. But what joy for all who take refuge in him. Prophetic messages. Prophetic messages. Wow, this is literally talking about Yahuwah. This is literally talking about, as many call him, Jesus, Yeshua, Yahuwah. This is amazing that he's spoken about here in the Old Testament, in the first, in the second and first scriptures, like in second Psalm, I mean. Seems like a good one. A psalm of David to be accompanied by an 8-stringed instrument. O Lord, don't rebuke me in your anger, or discipline me in your rage. Have compassion on me, Lord, for I am weak. Heal me, Lord, for my bones are in agony. I am sick at heart. How long, O Lord, until you restore me? Return, O Lord, and rescue me. Save me because of your unfailing love, for the dead do not remember you. Return, O Lord, and rescue me. Okay, let's start again. O Lord, don't rebuke me in your anger or discipline me in your rage. Have compassion on me, Lord, for I am weak. Heal me, Lord, for my bones are in agony. I am sick at heart. How long, O Lord, until you restore me? Return, O Lord, rescue me, to save me from save me because of your unfailing love. For the dead do not remember you. Who can praise you from the grave? I am worn out from sobbing. All night I flood my bed with weeping, drenched in my tears. My vision is blurred by grief. My eyes are worn out because of all my enemies. Go away, all you who do evil, for the Lord has heard my weeping. The Lord has heard my plea. The Lord will answer my prayer. May all my enemies be disgraced and terrified. May they suddenly turn back in shame. Answer me when I call out to you, O God, who declares me innocent. The Psalm 4. Free me from my troubles, have mercy on me, and hear my prayer. How long will you ruin my reputation? How long will you make groundless accusations? How long will you continue your lies? You can be sure of this. The Lord set apart the godly for himself. The Lord will answer when I call to him. Don't sin by letting anger control you. Think about it overnight and remain silent. Offer sacrifices in the right spirit and trust the Lord. Many people say, "Who will show us better times? Let your face smile on us, Lord." You have given me greater joy than those who have abundant harvests of grain and new wine. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, O God, will keep me safe. In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, O Lord, will keep me safe. O Lord, hear Psalm 5. O Lord, hear me as I pray. Pay attention to my groaning. Listen to my cry for help, my King, my God. For I pray to no one but you. Listen to my voice in the morning, Lord. Each morning I bring my requests to you and wait expectantly. O God, you take no pleasure in wickedness. You cannot tolerate the sins of the wicked. Therefore the proud may not stand in your presence, for you hate all who do evil. You will destroy those who tell lies. The Lord detests murderers and deceivers. Because of your unfailing love, I can enter your house. I will worship at your temple with deepest awe. Lead me in the right path, O Lord, for your enemies will conquer me. Make your way plain for me to follow. My enemies cannot speak a truthful word. Their deepest desire is to destroy others. Their talk is foul, like the stench from an open grave. Their tongues are filled with flattery. O God, declare them guilty. Let them be caught in their own traps. Drive them away because of their many sins. For they have rebelled against you. But let all who take refuge in you rejoice. My enemies cannot... Sorry, what was that? Sorry, guys. I live in the jungle of Hawaii, so there can really be a lot of bugs at night during the lights. Job. Oh my god. This is like the story of Job. If you guys are going through a really hard time right now, I mean, God has just opened up to the story of Job, which is he was a very righteous man, one of the most righteous men alive on the planet at that time. And so the devil wanted to prove to God that even his most faithful servant would turn away from him if God took away all of his blessings. And so God said, I believe in my servant, and I know that he will never turn away from me. He's righteous, and he loves me truly, not just because I bless him, but because he truly loves me. And Satan will let me prove you wrong. And God, knew that Satan couldn't prove him wrong, so he said, go ahead. You may take everything from him except for his life. And because he was married, and when you're married, you become one flesh and one person with your wife, then also he could not take his wife from him. But he took all of his riches, all of his fame, his reputation, his health. He grew sores on his body, which in that time, made you detestable. And, people assumed that God was angry with you if you had any kind of physical deformities, or illnesses or marks on your skin. It was considered that you had angered God. So his friends were really mistreating him and accusing him of being unrighteous, and that he must have really sinned badly and angered God. Job speaks of his former blessings. I long for the years gone by, when God took care of me, when he lit up the way before me and walked safely through the darkness. When I was in my prime, God's friendship felt in my home. The Almighty was still with me, and my children were around me. My steps were awash in cream, and the rocks gushed olive oil for me. Those were the days when I went to the city gate and took my place among the honored leaders. The young stepped aside when they saw me, and even the aged rose in respect at my coming. The prince stood in silence and put their hands over their mouths. The highest officials of the city stood quietly and held their tongues in respect. All who heard me praised me. All who saw me spoke well of me, for I assisted the poor in their need and the orphans who required help. I helped those without hope, and they blessed me. And I caused the widows' hearts to sing for joy. Everything I did was honest. Righteousness covered me like a robe, and I wore justice like a turban. I served as eyes for the blind and feet for the lame. I was a father to the poor and assisted strangers who needed help. I broke the jaws of godless oppressors and plucked their victims from their teeth. I thought, surely I will die surrounded by my family and after a long good life, for I am like a tree whose roots reach the water and whose branches are refreshed with the dew. New honors are constantly bestowed on me, and my strength is continually renewed. Everyone listened to my advice. They were silent as they waited for me to speak. And after I spoke, they had nothing to add, for my counsel satisfied them. And they longed for me to speak as people long for rain. And when they were discouraged, I smiled at them. My look of approval was precious to them. Like a chief, I told them what to do, and I lived like a king among his troops and comforted those who mourn. He speaks of his anguish. But now I am mocked by people younger than I, by young men whose fathers are worthy to run with my sheepdogs. A lot of good they are to me. And so pretty much he's just talking about how all of these horrible things have happened to him. I cry to you, O God, but you do not answer me. Don't even look. You've become cruel to me. You use your power to persecute me, throw me in the whirlwind and destroy me in the storm, and I know you're sending me to my death and the destination of all who live. Surely no one would turn against the needy when they cry for help in their trouble. Did I not weep for those in trouble? Was I not deeply grieved for the needy? So I looked for good, but evil came instead. I waited for the light, but darkness fell. My heart is troubled and restless. The days of suffering torment me. I walk in gloom without sunlight, and I stand in the public square and cry for help. Instead, I am considered a brother to jackals and a companion to owls. My skin is turned dark, and my bones burn with fever. My heart plays sad music, my flute accompanies those who weep. So his final protest of innocence. I made a covenant with my eyes not to look with lust at a young woman, for what has God above chosen for us? What is our inheritance from the Almighty on high? Isn't it calamity for the wicked and misfortune for those who do evil? Doesn't he see everything I do and every step I take? Have I lied to anyone or deceived anyone? Let God weigh me on a scale of justice, for he knows my integrity. If I have strayed from his pathway, or if my heart has lusted for what my eyes have seen, or if I am guilty of any other sin, then let someone else eat the crops I have planted, and let all that I have planted be uprooted. If my heart has been seduced by a woman, or if I have lusted for my neighbor's wife, then let my wife serve another man. Let other men sleep with her, and for lust is a shameful sin, a crime that should be punished. It is fire that burns all the way to hell. It would wipe out everything I own. If I have been unfair to my male or female servants when they brought their complaints to me, how could I face God? What could I say when he questioned me? What could I say when he questioned me? For God created both me and my servants. He created us both in the womb. For I refused to help the Have I refused to help the poor or crushed the hopes of the widows? Have I been stingy with my food and refused to share it with orphans? No. From childhood, I cared for orphans like a father, and all my life I've cared for widows. Whenever I saw the homeless without clothes and the needy with nothing to wear, did they not praise me for providing wool, clothing to keep them warm? If I raised my hand against an orphan, knowing the judges would take my side, then let my shoulder be wrenched out of place. Let my arm be torn from its socket. That would be better than facing God's judgment. For if the majesty of God opposes me, with what hope is there? Have I put my trust in money or felt secure because of gold? Have I gloated about my wealth and all that I own? Have I looked at the sun shining in the sky? If only someone would listen to me. Look, I will sign my name in my defense. Let the Almighty answer me. Let my accuser write out the charges against me. I would face the accusation proudly. I would wear it like a crown, for I would tell him exactly what I've done. I would come before him like a prince. If my land accuses me as it furrows cry out together. If I've stolen its crops or murdered its owners, then let thistles grow on the land instead of wheat and weeds instead of barley. Job's words are ended. Okay, we're gonna read this next part and then finish the story of Job. I am young. Okay, so Elu responds to Job's friends. So in this part, right before this, Job's friends were accusing Job of doing evil, which is why he did his final protest of innocence. They said, you must have angered the Lord and been doing wicked things, because God would not allow you to be punished if you had not done evil. But that's not true. God puts his chosen ones through the refining fire, and that's what he was doing with Job. So this, Job's three friends refused to reply further to him because he kept insisting on his innocence. Then Elu, son of Baralak the Buzite, from the clan of Ram, became angry. He was angry because Job refused to admit that he had sinned. I am young.